Okay, so initially I wasn't planning on making this video. I was actually working on a different one where I try and get a team of crusty old event Pokemon up to Master Ball rank in Pokemon Champions. When I was working on training this team and coming up with different things I can do with it, I ended up stumbling upon a pretty underutilized strategy involving Mr. Rime and Charizard. So to kick it off with Charizard, we've got Solar Power to take advantage of any Mega Charizard's Y, or I guess Torkoals out there, setting up Weather Teams to get that extra strength boost. Citrus Berry to obviously make up for the lost health from Belly Drum. And we've got Rock Slide, Flame Charge, and Breaking Swipe. Rock Slide is a really good coverage move that a lot of the meta is weak to Rock Slide, and you can also take advantage of the kind of BS RNG flinches. Flame Charge can get a speed boost, so that way after Flame Charge you're able to outspeed stuff like Mega Staraptor. And Breaking Swipe, you can honestly switch that out for any other physical move. I like it just because of the attack drop, and I personally run into a lot of Dragon types, so it's good to have more coverage, and my team's kind of lacking in that. I'm personally running a more defensive stat spread, and I'd recommend that because on the off chance that Charizard does take a hit or two, and we'll explain a bit how you can avoid getting hit as this Charizard. But while you're protecting your Charizard, eventually it's going to get hit a couple times. This allows it to live a little bit longer while it's still sweeping through and tearing through everything because of its maxed out attack stats. And then we go over to Mr. Rime. I just give it Bright Powder to try and abuse the RNG a little more because I love doing that. Screen Cleaner to take out any screens. Obviously you're required to switch it out if you lead with Mr. Rime. But we've got Ally Switch, Ice Shard, Protect, and Fake Out. Protect is obviously pretty self-explanatory. Ice Shard I like to run because of the fact that it can do 35 to 40% on a Garchomp and a little bit less than that on a Dragonite. And those are very, very commonly used Pokemon at this time, so that can be really, really handy. And it can also finish out anything that's pretty low health after a couple Rock Slides from Charizard. Fake Out is a really interesting one because of the fact that with Mr. Rime's 90 speed stat that it gets here in Pokemon Champions, it can outspeed Fake Out both Incineroar and Grimmsnarl, which right now are the two top Fake Out users that I've ran into at least. I know there's a couple others out there, but I do believe that Mr. Rime outspeeds majority of them, which is really, really handy. For example, say that there's an Incineroar there who's going to Fake Out my Charizard, and Charizard needs to use Belly Drum. So to protect that, I Fake Out Incineroar, which flinches him, and Charizard can use Belly Drum, and the turn goes on as normal. These two have great synergy because the fact that Ally Switch can allow you to just like trade places. So for example, if there's somebody who's trying to use a Volt Tackle or a Zap Cannon, your Mega Raichu's there, big culprit of that. You just Ally Switch, Mr. Rime takes the hit, and it's quite bulky, so it's able to live through quite a few of these hits, which is really useful. Now obviously this duo is not perfect. I'd say the biggest weaknesses are Trick Room, and then honestly really just Trick Room. Trick Room's the biggest weakness by far and away to these two. And obviously a double Fake Out can be quite annoying because you can only plan for one of them. But other than that, these two have a lot of synergy. They can take on a lot of popular meta Pokemon currently, like Aerodactyl, Garchomp, Mega Staraptor is what I've seen a lot of success taking down. And then on top of all that, I really recommend, this isn't like required for the strategy, but I highly recommend pairing with a Hisuian Zoroark like you see on screen. I'm currently running Hyper Voice, Protect, Burning Jealousy, and Bitter Malice with a Focus Sash and an obvious max speed, max special attack spread with the nature boosting special attack. Now the reason I'd recommend this is because of the fact that you can take advantage of Ally Switch a little bit more here. Especially if you pair it with something that has a specific illusion, like for example if I'm having it disguise itself as Lycanroc and it gets sent in, there's going to be a lot of people trying to use close combat, so I can take advantage of that and just enjoy the turn where they realize it's a Zoroark, and then as soon as they do, I can perform Ally Switch to defend and protect Zoroark a little longer to give it some extra life on the field, which is really, really good because it can do a solid 40% on both opposing Pokemon, assuming there's no resistances, using Hyper Voice, which is super, super nice. Honestly, the Zoroark is my king when it comes to taking down Mega Staraptor, and specifically Mega Steelix as well. That's also kind of an annoying one for me. But yeah, so this is kind of what I'd recommend running with Charizard and Mr. Rime. The rest of the team, this once again, like I said, this is my team that I'm running for that challenge where I use crusty old event Pokemon. But here's I guess the entire team if you want to take a look at it, sneak peek, or if that video never gets released, then here it is. But yeah, so that's kind of the strat revolving around Mr. Rime and Charizard. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. If there's any other strategies y'all want me to cover, any crazy suggestions for pairings with these two, let me know in the comments, and maybe I'll make a follow-up reviewing this. Sorry there's no Champions gameplay in the background. I haven't got my capture card set up for the Nintendo Switch yet, so I'd have to resort to mobile gameplay, and my connection is always horrible. So to save you all from that experience, I decided to just skip out on that part today. Once again, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for clicking on this video. Hopefully the thumbnail was good. I haven't decided on what it is yet, but hopefully I cook up something nice in Microsoft Paint this time. Yeah, leave a like, a comment, subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next one.